Yeah. Let's go.
Welcome back to our drag race and welcome to the rematch. Now, like a lot of you guys pointed out in our earlier drag race between the Verna, the Virtus, the Slavia and the City, it was not exactly an apples to apples comparison. The Verna, that had the DCT gearbox, the Slavia, it had the manual gearbox, and because of the manual gearbox, the Slavia could launch harder, faster, and that's why at the finish line, the Slavia was slightly ahead. It won that drag race. Now, with your comments, taking your comments into account, we are back, and the Verna, it has the manual gearbox. The Verna has a 10 bhp powered advantage. Can it use that advantage to beat the Slavia to the quarter-mile run? Let's find out. But before we go ahead, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with like-minded enthusiasts, and if you have any more questions on this drag race, let us know in the comments and we will get back to you. So we are going to be doing 3 runs. I'm going to start off with the Verna, and Aatish is in the Slavia. The Slavia is Aatish's long-term test car, so he knows that car really well, so he'll be able to launch it to perfection. So the Verna, now let's get comfortable with it. First things first, seat coolers off, aircon off, sunroof shut, adjust the driving position properly. The steering moves and adjust for reach as well as rake. The seat, get it nice and low. Electric seats. Traction control off. Traction control off. Manual gearbox. Drive mode, sport. That's unique. Normally, all the Hyundais that have drive mode have it with the automatic transmission. I think this is the first one with the manual transmission, and it has a drive mode. And when you actually hit the sport mode, the revs go slightly higher. You can hear it, you can feel it. I guess even the exhaust sounds a little bit meatier. And let's get going.
Okay, so drag race, AC off, TC off. Let's do this.
Okay, right, pull the handbrake. You can rev it all the way to 5,200. 3, 2, 1. So you get a solid amount of wheel spin, and that ensures that it stays ahead of the Slavia and 1 full car length ahead of the Slavia. The Verna wins this. Easy, hands down. So 10 bhp power advantage, and clearly it uses that power advantage at launch. It spins up its tires properly, it grips, it bites, and it launches. So even at the launch, it is slightly ahead of the Slavia, and that's it. The Verna wins this test. Now let me swap to the Slavia and let's see if the results are repeated.
I'ma get it, you know I be on the way.
All right. Okay, now to get comfortable in the Slavia. First things first, aircon off. Aatish had only switched off the compressor, blower still on. I don't like the blower running. So that's off. I like the seat a little bit behind. Steering, again, adjusts for reach as well as rake, which is lovely. Traction control off, window up, sunroof shut.
Okay, so now my turn in the Verna. Same drill, AC off, traction control off. Now we find out whether Sirish won with skill or was it the Verna.
Yeah, boy.
Familiar with the Slavia, pull the handbrake, rev it to 373.
Got a better launch.
So at launch, both are more or less there.
And another good shift. Slavia's in the rearview mirrors.
But then second gear, he pulls out half a car length. Third gear, pulling.
Yep. The Verna definitely the faster.
At the quarter mile mark, he's 1.5 car lengths ahead.
Sirish is 100% a better driver than me, so if I could beat him in a drag race, then it's probably the car.
Now, I know this is not a road test, but some things I should point out. I prefer this tachometer that you get on the digital cluster of the Slavia. On the Verna, you have those digits, and I don't particularly like that. Also, for the brain to react to that, you can react to a tach, whereas you can't really react as well to numbers flashing at you. The gearbox on the Slavia, it feels more meaty, it feels more precise. The seats, actually, that's the immediate thing that you notice. The seats are a little nicer, they have more side support, and you sit like in the car, whereas in the Verna you sit slightly on top of the car. But the Verna also has more in terms of features, and I prefer on the Verna you have a proper physical button to turn off the traction control, and you can turn off ASR as well. Here is this little button on the touchscreen which it's not very tactile. We did say we'll do a best of 3. Now the Verna has won 2, so obviously even if it loses this one, it is going to win this test. But we did say we'll do a best of 3, so I'm going to jump back into the Verna. Aatish, chalo boss. Khatam karo. Okay, time to get familiar once again with the Verna. I don't know why Aatish keeps this blower on. Just switch it all off. All off. Power seats, which the Slavia does not have, which the Verna has. Like I said, more features in here. But now you got to get back to getting adapted to this tachometer, that digital tachometer, 0.6 RPM, sport mode. So when you put it into sport mode, the revs go up 600 RPM to 800 RPM. That's the problem. 0.6, 0.8. I never liked that on the i20. Don't like it out here also. But anyway, just cross-check that the traction and stability control are off. The traction control and ESC disabled. Seat coolers are off. Sunroof is closed. My cup of coffee is here. So, okay, window up. Lenny, we are ready. Let's go.
Okay, so now I'm back in the Slavia. I mean, it's already established that the Verna is faster, but we're gonna do one more run for your entertainment. So here we go. AC off, TC off.
Oh, look at that amount of wheel spin.
He got a better launch. And after the launch, we stayed together for a bit, but now he's just pulling away.
It's using all of its power. 158 bhp, 253 Newton meters of torque to absolutely demolish the Slavia. Years and years of trying. If you recall, right at the start, when Hyundai launched in India, they first had the Santro, then they had the Accent. The Accent, it first came with the 1.5 engine, then it came with the 1.6 engine. They called it the GTX, the Tornado. It was fast, it had power. It was still not up to the class benchmark, which was the Honda City and then the Honda City VTEC. Since then, it's now 20 years. Hyundai have been trying to get that crown, that performance crown in the segment. And now, Hyundai have got the performance crown in the segment. The Verna is the fastest sedan to the quarter mile mark. Well done, Hyundai. Well done. It's 20 years, in fact 24 years since Hyundai have been trying to establish their performance credentials in India. The father of the Verna was the Ascent. It came 24 years ago in 1999. It had the 1.5 engine. It wasn't as quick as the Icon. Then the Ascent got the 1.6 engine. It was pitched against the Honda City. It wasn't as fast as the Honda City. The Ascent got India's first CRDI engine in that category. It was a fast diesel, but it wasn't the fastest car in its class. The Ascent then became the Verna. It did get powerful engines, but it was never the fastest in its class until now. With this Verna 1.5 turbo, Hyundai have got the most powerful engine in this class, and as we've established, the fastest car in this category to the quarter mile. If you want the fastest sedan, at least in a straight line, the Hyundai Verna 1.5 should be your pick with the manual gearbox. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of our drag races. What should we drag race next? Let us know in the comments, and we'll be back here putting more cars to the test.